in diesem Jahr qualifizieren können, ist die aktuelle Nummer 115 der Weltrangliste. Er ist the Polish Champion. Herzlich willkommen, Krzysztof Ratajski. Krzysztof Ratajski trifft auf ein ziemlich neues Gesicht bei der PDC. Er hat sich in diesem Jahr die Tourcard sichern können, hat sich durch die Qualifying School gekämpft und sich zum zweiten Mal für das Hauptfeld hier auf der European Tour in diesem Jahr bereits qualifizieren können. Er steht inzwischen unter den Top 100 als Nummer 96 der Welt. Aus Irland, Steve Lennon.
Well, welcome back. We've just seen Steve beaten, knocked out by Ulf Ceder on his European Tour debut, the Nordic and Baltic qualifier winning through here. We've got the East Europe qualifier and the most proficient qualifier on the European Tour, Krzysztof Ratajski, against a rising star from Ireland, Steve Lennon, and joining me, Chris Murphy, in the commentary box for this one, and we're glad to have him back, although I reckon you'd rather be up there, Paul Nicholson.
Definitely rather be on stage, but it's nice to be backstage for this weekend. Really looking forward to calling the games. But you're right about Ratajski. I'll tell you what, one thing I'm really glad about. Yes, he's qualified for the first 3 European Tour events, and he's going to be in the next 3. Might give us a chance to figure out how to spell his name off by heart, because it's pretty tricky.
Yeah, a bit of a conundrum for the Polish player. Without doubt, the best player from that part of the world, as his qualifying record seems to suggest. Steve Lennon made his...
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, first leg, Steve to throw first. Game on!
Made his European Tour debut at the German Darts Open a couple of weeks ago. Was beaten by Christian Kiss, but 6-4. And he's a name, Paul, that
100
players are perhaps starting to feel a little bit worried about on the Pro Tour circuit.
I think that's been the consensus for a little while. He's been playing on the development tour.
100!
And he's been playing in his homeland as well. And the people from Ireland really do rate this kid. And speaking of Mick McGowan and his wife Debbie, they've called him the future of Irish darts. And when you think about the fact that he beat Willie O'Connor in trying to qualify for this event, you think, well, maybe he's starting to take the mantle.
99.
Well, demonstrating here what he can do. The first start was perfect.
99.
Second dart blocked, so he switched down to the 19s. But just a word on the first match, Paul. Ulf Ceder put in a very, very good performance. Do you think Steve Beaton got
56.
Caught a little cold there?
Very possible. I mean, it's a little chilly in here, as it always is at the Glass Plast at the very start of the event. But when you get a few more people in here, it gets hotter and the performances tend to get better. But fair play to Ulf Ceder, an experienced campaigner. Well, it's good to see him on the European Tour, and he did some damage today. I'll tell you what, Reyes will have taken note of that.
Well, this to get... Oh, he's missed the big number, 71. Steve Lennon. He's going for 11
106.
to leave himself double top, but ended up having to square it off in 2. And now Ratajski gets a chance he might not have expected.
Well, Lennon's going to come back for that tops, but I like the way that Steve didn't flinch when he missed that big number. He just got on with his
74.
job. Left tops. He's got another opportunity to get rid of this leg now. A lovely clean finish. He's got a few fans out there. That's the thing about Steve Lennon. He's a no-nonsense dart player. He's a young man. And you find out from these young men what kind of players they want to be at the start of their careers. Steve most definitely just wants to get up there, do his job. No histrionics. He's not a Hollywood player. He wants to just get up there, play smoothly, and get it done.
Yeah, certainly has an air of maturity about Steve Lennon, but you're right, he still plays on the development tour, so he's, you know, still learning his trade. Has reached the quarterfinals of a Players' Championship event already, and he was knocked out in that quarterfinal 6-5 by Daryl Gurney, who went on to win the whole thing.
No disgrace whatsoever. I played Steve Lennon earlier this season in the UK Open qualifiers. I'm not ashamed to say it. After he hits that 180, he absolutely walloped me. He hit everything, and that put Steve Lennon on my radar. I tell you what, I haven't been the first or the last person he will give a good toweling on that dartboard. You look at his throw, straight back and forward. There's not a big back lift. There's a little curl of the hand before he throws it. But there's no real extension of the arm. It's smooth. And it's those types of throws that can last a very long time. And he could have a long career ahead of him.
One right on 40.
Well, Ratajski looks poised to level, but Lennon looking to apply some pressure.
One right on 40.
Does so.
Krzysztof, you require 57.
And Ratajski is not used to losing. Winning so many qualifiers, and
47.
he's used to hitting doubles, and a bit of exasperation there from the pole gives Lennon a chance to break. Take a little lead with him into the third leg. He's going to go 10 here for tops. Tops it is for 2-0.
23.
Oh, and you can see that wire just bent downwards.
Require 10.
Krzysztof comes back for double 5.
Game shot.
And he lands
second leg. Krzysztof Ratajski.
And Ratajski,
third leg, Steve to throw first.
won his opening game at the German Darts Open a couple of weeks ago. He defeated Jamie Bain, but was then drawn against Peter Wright, who tonked him 6-1. And that's a 180 to kick off this third leg from the Irishman. And again, we talk about the maturity of him. He's hit straight back, having lost that leg. Kicks off with a match.
And the amount of darts that Steve Lennon's playing at the moment, you've got to think that he's soaking all of this experience up. Pro Tour, UK Open qualifiers,
60.
European events now. There will be TV events in his future. He's just taking everything in right now and running with it. I'm a big fan of this guy. But what I was going to say to you, Chris, what do you think of what I'm going to call the Ratajski effect in Poland? He is the spearhead, and we've seen spearheads from other parts of the world. John Part in Canada,
45.
Simon Whitlock in Australia, others from around the world. When you get one person who has an abundance of talent, can he carry other players into the limelight from Poland?
Well, it's interesting, I guess.
60.
What you do get is interest when someone starts performing well. So people who may never have picked up a dart before or never really watched darts before may hear about this guy who's qualifying for all these events, taking on the best players in the world.
85.
It might just inspire people. I'm sure you had people that you were inspired by to pick darts up.
Bob Anderson was that man, and a bit of Dennis Priestley didn't hurt, that's for sure.
100.
I tell you what, Ratajski is the man in Poland. I'm sure there'll be others to follow him, but right now, all Ratajski wants to do is take Steve Lennon out. Lennon with the slight upper hand in this leg, especially now that he leaves tops in this third leg, but this would be a killer.
Not going to happen, so Lennon will return.
60. Steve, you require 40.
Level 5.
35.
Well, this is a bit of a chance because
Krzysztof,
Lennon's
you
left
require 96.
a bit of a mess at the end of that visit.
He's smelling blood as Ratajski. What's he going to do? Double 18? No. Went for the 60. It was shielded.
88.
Like we saw with Phil Taylor last night when he was playing Van Gogh, when he went double 18, double top. I fancied Ratajski would do the same, but Lennon can clear this up.
Game
Lovely.
shot in the third leg. Steve
That
Lennon,
closes off leg 3.
First.
And it could have been so different if Ratajski had taken out that 96. The whole complexion of the game would have been different.
96.
Well, while we've got you, Paul, let's have a little word about you because you've returned onto the European Tour stage for the first time in over a couple of years this year. It's going pretty well for you, isn't it?
This year has already been better than last year, and we're only in May. I'm turning 38 next week, and I've got a new outlook on life at the moment, so I'm really enjoying the fact that I've played in Hildesheim, I've played in Saarbrücken, I've won a couple of games, playing in Gibraltar next week, so I'm really looking forward to that. So I'd like to say I've turned a bit of a corner with my game, and I'm starting to beat people that I wouldn't have beaten in the last couple of years. So as long as I can keep my body together and it doesn't snap, then maybe we can do some damage over the next couple of seasons.
Yeah, well, the European Tour match that you played on stage against Ryan Searle was certainly a case in point of that. But yeah, back-to-back weekends of European Tour action. Mr. Nicholson in the commentary box for this one, and on the stage in Gibraltar.
What can Ratajski do now? That's a lovely, lovely layup.
137.
I can see this one going all the way. You Murph?
Yeah, it's looking that way, isn't it? Certainly is. Neither player seems to be bothered by what the other one's doing.
60. Krzysztof, you require 32. Game shown, the full flag. Krzysztof Ratajski.
Not bad at all.
Big leg Steve to throw first.
And he had to hit that because you never know. Steve Lennon was on 170. He might have taken that out.
Well, it may be a moment of magic that decides the outcome of this match.
60.
The crowd is starting to get a little bit involved. We've got a few people in here on a Friday afternoon, which is great to see. This place will be buzzing later when we've got some big games. I'm a big fan of the Steve West-Chris Dobie match. I think that'll be a rip-roarer. But this weekend it will be jumping here at the Glass Palace. We noticed in the first match with Ulf Cedar and Steve Beaton, even Ulf was getting his own chant. The Ulf, Ulf, Ulf.
Very innovative and imaginative.
All you need in this game is a little hook with the fans, and you're a superstar already, Ulf.
Yeah, the standout tie really of the first day of action is Stephen Bunting against Adrian Lewis.
100.
Adrian Lewis, as a qualifier, has handed ties against Daryl Gurney and Stephen Bunting.
Somebody up there doesn't like him. And when I mean up there, the people who do the draw.
140.
This goes to show, though, the quality of the European Tour qualifiers now is getting a little sick. Daryl Gurney's done so well that he's starting to move towards the seeds and into the seeds now. Double 16 for Ratajski. We'll take the fifth leg. What a beautiful finish. He's done it the Mervyn King way. Didn't bother with a 60 on the second dart because he obviously likes that bottom corner of the board. I noticed when Ratajski was playing at Frimley Green earlier this year, he really did like double 16. Hence why he's used treble 16 to leave the double. But Steve Lennon is up against it now. We're going to see how mature and how tricky this kid can be from here. But look at what a response.
What a response indeed. Third maximum from Steve Lennon. And that's after just being on the receiving end of the first break of throw.
This is the most impressive thing about Steve Lennon for me. He's like Teflon. He can hit him with everything. He's going to come out shining.
Well, he couldn't, could he? Is that in?
Oh.
We had to wait.
Put the hex on it, Murph.
For Russ Bray to tell us. We're not even going to talk about it anymore because there was, again, a 9-dart finish on the Pro Tour last weekend. No sign of it on the European Tour over 3 years.
We'll get there. What have you near misses? Michael van Gerwen missed 2 in Dusseldorf last year.
Why don't you give us your personal guarantee that if we don't get one this weekend, then you'll go and hit one in Gibraltar? Do it for the fans, Paul.
I wish. I still haven't hit one on the Pro Tour. I'm sure there'll be one in my future. There's a 3-3 game in our future now. Well, it's not in the future, it's actually in the present. What a response from Steve Lennon. He gets broken, breaks straight back.
With an 11-dart leg as well. Fantastic stuff from Steve Lennon. Starting to strut his stuff on the European Tour stage.
I'm not sure if Steve Lennon has a nickname yet.
You called him Teflon.
Oh, I'm not sure that would stick.
98.
Why didn't I say that?
You are the pun master, Chris Murphy. Tell you what, if it hadn't been taken twice, I'd call him the Iceman. He's really hard to read. That's what makes him so competitive.
136.
I reckon within a couple of years he might be gracing that Irish World Cup team. Pretty hard chasing for those spots, but I tell you what, this kid has got something. And I think this is a really legitimate test for him right now to see where he's at with his career, because Ratajski has got talent, he's got form, he's got experience.
60.
He's got all of the things that Steve Lennon wants in the future. In order to be great, you've got to beat great players. And at the moment, Ratajski he's a great player.
Yeah, it's a good shout.
100.
Steve Lennon making a charge towards the Irish team. Might not take too long either.
One of the guys he beat in qualifying is in one of those spots, which is Willie O'Connor. Sure, Mick McGowan's got the other one. But in qualifying, Steve Lennon, after taking out Willie O'Connor, took out Ronnie Baxter, which anytime, anywhere in the world is a great win. He beat Stephen Burton 6-5 in a nail-biting game to get through to this point.
Game shot in the 7th leg.
Another double 16 for Ratajski.
8th leg, Krzysztof.
And another break of throw.
Game on.
Just going to say, if Ratajski missed this double 16, Lennon could pounce. This is a very intriguing match. But is Ratajski going to just put his foot down? He's doing his best to do that.
We had 4 straight holds, now 3 straight breaks. And really, you said after a couple of legs, Paul, that you fancied it to go all the way. Still none the wiser. However, opportunity is opening up for Krzysztof Ratajski to move 2 legs clear.
140.
Well, these are the points in matches where you can really put your foot down, get some distance, and give yourself some comfort.
We just saw there, he's averaging almost 100. This is a very good performance. Steve Lennon's not shaken by it. He's having to play like this to beat Steve Lennon, but it's a very impressive performance.
134.
I did say earlier that Steve Lennon really needed to play against guys who were going to test him, and this is a great test. Difference in 10 in the averages. You could see from the winning legs, Ratajski has played better in this match, and he's starting to prove it. Treble 18 would have left double 16. He's got room to breathe.
You think Paul is perhaps a
48.
comfortability factor in that Ratajski knows that he's playing in the next couple of events after this? I mean, I know for this one, yourself and the other PDC Pro Tour players did two qualifiers in one. But usually, when you're on that stage for a European Tour event, you don't know when your next is.
That's very, very true. 2 10s for Ratajski.
46.
And you never know. If Steve Lennon's going to get back in this match, I fancy he's got to hit this. We'll come back to that question in a second, Murph. But Ratajski's not thinking about Gibraltar yet. He's thinking about double 5.
Yeah, it's one of those tricky doubles, or if he doesn't nail it, which he does,
shot in the 8th leg.
So I'm not even going to bother finishing the sentence, Paul.
9th leg, Steve
5-3,
first,
and within one of a place in the second round and a tie with Mensur Suljovic.
On your previous point, I think very eloquently put. I think the pressure is lifted. For instance, the British-based qualifiers there, possibly in today and next week. You can just relax a little bit thinking, you know what, I'm a little bit closer to the European Championships. I'm a little bit closer to the Worlds, knowing that I've got 2, but in Krzysztof's case, 3 to look forward to.
135.
Well, we were starting to wonder if we were going to have something to look forward to there. But Lennon's still fighting. Hanging on in there. This is on throw.
100.
So if you can just move back within a leg and then threaten Krzysztof's throw, it's not over by a shot.
Not at all.
100.
Usually when you put an Irishman in the corner, he comes out swinging and fighting. I tell you what, Steve Lennon is calm, he's composed, and he knows that he can still win this match if he keeps playing like this. 9 darts thrown, 86 left. 68 now. He's got double 4 for a 12 darter.
82.
We'll be back.
Yeah, well, impressive stuff indeed. He's hit 4 180s, had an 11 darter early on in the match. Still finds himself 5-3 down. And now, Ratajski has applied the pressure. So far, Lennon hasn't really buckled under any kind of duress from his opponent, but that looks a bit tricky.
Game shown.
What do I know?
Stephen Lennon, 10th leg, Krzysztof to throw first.
Well, that's a mark of a confident young dart player and someone who knows how his darts fly. From our angle, it looked like the double two was blocked. But he didn't even hesitate. He went straight for it and he got it hit. He didn't hit that, he was out.
That last dart from Ratajski was important as well, because he would have been handing the impetus straight to Steve Lennon, with one dart already on the floor in that visit.
43.
That's about the biggest sign of emotion I've seen from Steve Lennon in this match. Slight close of the eyes and a come on. We are at that point in the match where every dart is so vital.
Yeah, well, Ratajski must be thinking if he can go out in 9 darts from here, and he book himself a place in round 2. Just trying to stay straight, stay strong.
He knows how to win at the minute, doesn't he, Ratajski? He knows how to get over the line in tight games.
Krzysztof, you require
and when you
160.
are winning all the time, you expect to win when you get on that stage. Another one of those. Oh, he's going to go down to treble 16 again.
88.
We've got some breathing room. 72 when he returns, and he will go through.
$139. Krzysztof, you require 72.
For which route? 36. The 36. And there it is, Krzysztof Ratajski, and you can see that he knew that he was in a game against Steve Lennon there. The Irishman performed very, very, very well, but Ratajski moved through a near 100 average to take on Mensur Suljovic tomorrow. We'll be back in a few moments' time with James Richardson against Paul Rowley.
Krzysztof Ratajski zieht nach einem guten Match in die zweite Runde ein und wird dort auf Mensur Suljovic dann morgen treffen. Krzysztof, congratulations. That was quite a good match. My feeling is you're getting used to play here on stage. Is that right?
Yes, I think you have right. Yes, this is more comfortable for me. I have much more experience here on the stage, and the second match with Mensur, it's a very good experience for me. He's like top here. He's a number 3, and I'm very happy I will play with him.
Have you played Mensur before?
Yes, I play many times with Mensur, but only in soft dart. It was different. Someone I won, yeah, it was, and someone he, yeah.
So now it's in steel darts. We're looking forward to that. Thank you very much, Krzysztof. Congratulations. Krzysztof Ratajski, the Polish champion.